Hi, this is a recap of dress. So if I say dress in the lessons and you keep forgetting what it is, you can go back to this video on BPC English and refresh your memory. So dress are basically learning writing techniques to persuade the reader and impress the examiner. Remember, the whole point of paper 2 writing is to persuade the reader to agree with you. Last session we looked at this sort of odd furniture advert, and the features we sort of picked out were statistics, rhetorical questions, emotive language, direct address. So remember, statistics, 10% discount, they're trying to persuade you because you can get it cheaper. Rhetorical questions, getting the reader involved. Emotive language, no problem to, again, persuade the reader. And direct address, it feels like you're talking directly to the reader. You can buy, or if we used we. So here is direct address and dress. So direct address, rhetorical question, exciting adjective, statistics, sentence starters. You may have done something similar at school with a forest or the forest. I've cut it down to this because one, I don't think we need a lot of stuff in a forest and the forest. So for example, alliteration, I think examiners might see as a bit immature, a bit babyish. And also things in a forest like fact and opinion, you're going to use those naturally, so we don't need to be talking to them. But if you use these 5 things in the exam, it really will impress the examiner. And also these things here are pretty simple. Maybe direct address is a bit tougher, but all the other things I think we can really impress the examiner by using. So let's go through each one. So again, like I said to you, the whole idea is that this is what you're going to be like to the examiner. You're going to be cocky and confident, and you're going to show the examiner what you can do. What people tend to do is students tend to learn it in the lesson, be confident, but then they don't want to use it in the exam because I don't know why. They don't want to show off their skills. So if we're using it in the lessons, please make sure you do it in the exam. So D is direct address. So the definition is referring to the reader directly using we or you. And a definition would be you need to sort yourself out. Okay, so the whole idea of direct address is if you use we and you, it feels like you're getting the reader, you're talking directly to that one person. So if you were doing a speech, you could say something like, don't we all agree? What do you think? Also, if a reader is getting a bit bored as well, if you use the word you and get them involved, it might perk them up a bit. Rhetorical question, definition, any question in a piece of writing which doesn't require an answer. Adverts use this a lot. My example is, how could anyone think Justin Bieber is a good singer? Okay, so again, getting the reader involved. You're not expecting the reader to actually answer and say yes or no, but a question mark gets the reader involved, gets the reader interested. So if I was saying, if you're doing an article that is a page and a half, maybe use 2 rhetorical questions. All of these techniques, we're not saying every single sentence put a rhetorical question in, but maybe if you did 1 or 2, that would really impress the examiner. So E's a bit tricky because I've changed it to exciting adjectives, but I think a lot of people use emotive language. So we can talk about both. So emotive language or exciting adjectives, definition, words which elicit or words which get a powerful response. So for example, you might see this in some of the tabloid newspapers where instead of saying a man knocked over a girl in a car, we've got here an innocent girl was knocked over by the gross car when the drunken idiot lost control. So all these emboldened words are emotive. So innocent makes it sound like the girl is absolutely has never done anything wrong in her life and paints her as sort of young. Drunken idiot, again, drunken, yeah, idiot makes it sound like the guy is a real horrible character. Okay, emotive language is used quite a lot in charity adverts. So for example here, it doesn't just say Christmas appeal, it says emergency Christmas appeal, like it's like a life and death thing. One child waking up on homeless Christmas morning isn't a bad thing, it's a tragedy. 80,000 of them, so 80,000 would be a statistic, but 80,000 of them isn't just bad, it's a disgrace. So it's basically using really exaggerated language to get your point home. Okay, again, if you look at any talent show, fantastic, yeah, all these words are just exaggerate a little bit. So if you're doing a movie review, don't say something is good, say it is spectacular. Really push yourself with the vocab. Okay, the first S is statistics in dress. So these are numerical facts and data used to support a point. An example could be 92% of people wash their hands at least 3 times a day. The idea is if you use a statistic, it really backs up your argument and it gives your argument a bit of weight. Obviously, in the exam, you're not going to be using Google or Wikipedia, so just make up these statistics. This is an example of a poster in America that was used to show gun crime and what happens with American guns. So, for example, the amount of people killed by handguns in Britain last year was 8. In Sweden, it's 21 because we obviously don't have guns. But in America, where they do have guns, as opposed to being 8, it's 10,728. So this person here is using statistics to back up the fact that guns in America should be banned. And the last S is sentence starters. I would say this is the easiest for 5 to get yourself a few extra marks. So instead of just starting with the or a, it's really boring if you have a paragraph and you start with the same sentence a couple of times. So sentence starters are words or phrases used to start a sentence. So at the minimum, start your middle paragraph, so your 2, 3 and 4 out of your 5 paragraphs. Firstly, secondly, thirdly. But if you can push yourself, maybe use finally, therefore, and there's loads more here. So this might be a good thing to print screen or screenshot. So, however, on the other hand, in comparison, for instance, likewise, you don't have to use them all and you don't have to use them every sentence, but maybe if you just used however or likewise through your whole, maybe once or twice through your whole extract, that would be great. Here it is in one big document. I've put here copy out the table. I don't want you to copy out the table, but what I want you to do is go back to the lesson now, and I want you, before you come back, I'll give you 3 or 4 minutes to come up with one example of your own for all of dress. So give me one example of direct address in a sentence, one rhetorical question, one sentence with an exciting adjective or emotive language in about anything you like, one statistic about anything you like, and one sentence starter that is not written in blue. Okay, so go back to the lesson and I'll give you 5 minutes to do 5 sentences to do with dress. Okay, see you in a second.